Now, of course, outside the politics and other stories that I do, today morning I managed to visit Safaricom shop. Of course, my M-Pesa line was suspended, so I went there for some assistance. On arrival, there are some few things that I want to really appreciate that Safaricom has done. One of them is that when I arrived there, you take your ticket, you sit in. Actually, I've not been there before. It's been a while actually since I went to Safaricom shop. So I went there, sat down, not pictures. You go there and take a receipt for that machine that prints the receipt. You go sit down, and there's a watchman there within the building who shows you if your number's been called, tells you. Actually, after the announcement, it goes ahead for those who could not have read the receipt number, tells you number this, you can go to this such and such a counter, actually directs you to the counter where it is. That was an amazing way of service that I think we need to see from them. Now, and then I think it is also very clean. It's always very clean. And then right at the door are professionals who are telling you what to do. They ask you what you want, and of course, they now direct you where to go, and even the type of receipt you are supposed to pick. Another thing I saw, the supervision. The lady who was there, the supervisor, she was watching as the process goes on. Also, I realized these guys have a nice moment in the morning. They pray, they have a meeting. I mean, it's good to catch up on what you've been doing. And then also checking very closely, it's young people who are there and the system is running. I think now that's a very strong lesson that I've learned, that we need to learn, and every other person in this country needs to learn. One of the most profitable companies we have in this country is Safaricom. And Safaricom, actually, my queue, its most employees are youths. Some of them even below the age of 35, most of them. The IT experts, the computer gurus, even the marketers you all see in the streets are Safaricom, are young men and women of this country. It is now high time the leadership that we have, the political class, which it is the only class that does not believe in the youths. Give them the chance. These guys can wash this nation. If you give them the Ministry of Interior, youths can be able to sit down and make it very clean. They can be able to come with innovative skills on how to deal with one or two things. I'm very sure the corruption cases that we have among the police, if you give a youth that time, it can give you an innovative idea and implement it very well to ensure that our police officers are never engaged in this kind of corruption cases, bribery on the roads and such things. If you give these youths in this country a chance, they can transform every sector of this country. Instead of giving Joho and Mbadi and these other guys who can hardly tell what is the technology about right now, it could have been more interesting to have young men and women in these industries, and they can do well. Of course, if you employ them out of merit, not friendship, tribe, or any other thing, out of merit, you can get the top cream of this country. When I was watching, when he had Ogola's funeral, I saw the daughter is working the Google in abroad. A daughter working in such kind of a level, that is immensely, really astonishing. She was qualified, but it's touching. I felt nice personally that we have a Kenyan at that level representing us. A Kenyan lady working in one of the topmost offices of Google. The world office for the Google, the headquarters at the New York. That's one amazing. It was an amazing. Is it New York or it was Canada? But she was in New York. I think she works in New York. I loved that. So basically, you can correct me in the comment section. I'm not so sure, but I think she's working at Google, and that's an amazing thing. We have so many other youths across the country who right now as we speak, they are able to do so many miraculous things, but they're not given a chance. I think it's high time now we can have, in cooperation with these people, if we really need them to perform and give us a chance in this country to see a better Kenya, it's time they are given that chance to perform. The same way they do in Safaricom. The same way they do in other banks. As we speak right now, I have always advocated that we need to first give the priority of the Kenyan professionals. You have to give the Kenyan professionals the first priority. Because, why am I saying this? JKI has been making losses right, left, and center. Bringing Adani was like, anakuja to fix this airport. Do you know that we have very super brains like Joshua Igara, who has been working in KCB Bank, he did well. Now I think he's in Stanbic. He's doing again an amazing job. We have such kind of brains which can take over JKIA as the CEOs. Of course, if it's of course given on merit. Then this gentleman or woman can be able to transform that place with innovative ideas to ensure that there's profit every year, profit that is able to turn around JKI, that will bring even the 200 billion shillings and make a better new airport and even innovate the airports in this country. But because we have this locked mind, that even our president has to really think outside the box instead of thinking within the box first, because we have resources here. He has to go to Adani to get people to come on board and do that. We can't get our own professionals who can be given that chance. We can't go and source them. You've given them the education, the training. Some of them have even gone abroad, but we can't source them. Just that, and give them the job to deliver. Because at the time I was watching the former Safaricom CEO, Michael Joseph, and then he was being interviewed on JKI, and they were saying that, of course, it was a way back 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago actually, and they were saying that JKI, Kenya Airways, Kenya Airways will make losses for about 4 years. Actually said until 2024 is when they expect the last loss that they will make. It was surprising because I didn't expect that in a scenario of businesses, we can always be planning for making a loss. Because we always wake up in the morning in business industries to ensure at least we've changed this country in terms of what? In terms of ensuring that our businesses are not making losses so that we can make profit. But when you realize a company is given 2 billion is injected there, it goes nowhere. Again, money is injected there. Like, we injected so much amount of money to Kenya Airways, but we didn't see a profitability from that region. So the leadership is what we blame in this country. Let's give people out of merit, not out of just observation and friendship and tribal and even loyalty. I mean, it's not necessary. People, let them deliver. If someone doesn't deliver, you fire him to go home. And if there's a mistake he did, he pays for it. For instance, we could not sit back and just relax when we see an airport is leaking. Not once, not twice. A generator is not working, not once, not twice. The airport is flooding, not once, not twice. I mean, it is not good such things happen. Yet we have professionals in this country who can sit down and transform this country immensely. I think now from Safaricom, I think these guys you need to borrow. However, going back to Safaricom, you guys need to be cheap and affordable for the Kenyans to use you well. Let's also have a scenario where we, I think, need to have the cost of transactions in this country. It was increased. I think it's high time we have it reduced because we need to make Safaricom affordable. The internet cable supply, I think there should be the supply should be mass. Let it reach every department, even the villages. You guys are wasting time while we're having Starlink up here that is soon going to take over our villages, going to take over our internet seriously. So you guys wake up and do the necessary thing, because we need to see, as much as you offer good services and ensure the marketers have done their job, also now you somehow forget your customers. Customers, you always exploit them in terms of high prices of right, left, and center. I mean, having things to do with like calling, it's very expensive. So Safaricom, I think that's the area you need to adjust. But when it comes to the services you offer, particularly when I call you guys, it's amazing. I personally, in my house, I use of course the Safaricom home fiber. It is amazing. I mean, the 10 Mbps I get at 3,000, actually 2,999, it's amazing. And whenever there's a challenge I call, they're able to solve it than these other local providers. And I think also checking from the way it is, it's fast. I mean, it's reliable. Whether it's raining or not, it will always work. That's an amazing thing about Safaricom. It's high time now the country, President William Ruto, please take this to the bank. The youth of this country believe in them and will deliver immensely. That is how we are going to change this country. If you leave youth piling there with certificates for millions of them, and you still don't give them jobs when they are available, then you say you are creating jobs of this and that manner. What are you doing in this country? Who are you leaving to work? I mean, as much as we want your children, you rich guys, to have better schools, better goods, better jobs, it's the same case for the peasants down the villages. They're also taking their kids to school for the same reason. They want them to have better jobs. They want them white-collar jobs if it's possible. They want them to use the skills that they've learned from school to transform this country. Please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because these Mukwa Times grows out of subscription and commenting and actually giving me that like. If at all you like the video after watching it, just hit that button and I love it. Keep following for those 1,000 of years, so actually 1,200 out of 1,700 people coming back to watch my videos. That means you guys, you are really supportive. I want to thank you immensely. Actually, it's really an amazing thing, and it's a humbling experience to realize that I have people who keep following the content that you do here. In case I give anything that you feel there's an alternative opinion, please drop it in the comment section. See you next time.